The game is over. What went right and what went wrong? It's time for the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. Let's get to your hosts of the show, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer and Tommy Wirtz, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
And as we come on the air, the Green Bay Packers have lost the game on a long, deep throw by Caleb Williams to DJ Moore to win the game for the Chicago Bears, and the Packers lose. That was the Caleb Williams moment of his career. That was the highlight of his career for certain right there for the Chicago Bears. And the Packers lose 22-16 to the Chicago Bears. And, yeah, that's how it ends. Tommy Wirtz, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, as we broadcast live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Keyshawn Nixon
just got torched.
Beat again. He was even on his back when DJ Moore caught
the ball. Do you know how weird this is right now? Look back at this right now and tell me that this isn't exactly what happened in the 2014 NFC Championship game. An onside kick, botched it. Tramon Williams gets beat on this play. Like, this is the exact same thing that just happened. What? It's the exact same thing. I don't know if there's been a more devastating 2-week period for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, that was brutal what they just went through. And I can't believe that as soon as we started this, that we just watched that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it happened. And you know something? I want to feel bad for Keyshawn Nixon. I do. But you blew the assignment in the back of the end zone when the game should have been over. Like, if he's covered, Walker is covered, then we never get to overtime. The game's over. Like, the pressure got home to Caleb Williams. They brought the all-out blitz. They got there. He threw it off his back foot. And when he threw it, I was like, yes, I thought he threw it out of the back of the end zone. And Walker catches it, and they go to overtime. But how many different ways can you shoot yourself in the foot in one football game? That really is the story today for the Green Bay Packers. Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Obviously streaming live on X as well and on YouTube at WI Sports Radio. Dial it up, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Caleb Williams' highlight of his career just happened. That was Caleb Williams' moment that they will talk about for the rest of Caleb Williams' career. I guarantee you that throw will be talked about for the rest of his career and probably after his career and this game. And for the Green Bay Packers, as we talked about shooting yourself in the foot, 4th and 1, you're in the damn shotgun. I absolutely hate that with a passion there on the first drive. You want to take the points, that's fine, but at least give yourself a chance. So that's 3 points. You have Josh Jacobs fumble. That was setting up to be possibly 7. Worst case, it's 3. Between the two of those, you still win the football game. And then the onside kick, where everybody just watched the ball bounce. You had like 3 dudes just watching the ball bounce. I'm in here yelling, get the ball. No, we just watched it bounce. And then Romeo Doubs got tattooed, didn't come back with his wrist injury. And you go to overtime. And then you get to overtime, and Malik Willis and Ryan have an issue on the snap, and the Bears get the ball back, and you lose.
You know, another thing, though, that needs to be brought up, Josh Jacobs just should have never even played in this ball game. He was obviously hurt the entire game. Yep. He fumbled the ball in the red zone. That also leads to the Packers at least not having 3 more points and hopefully not in overtime in general. But they don't score on the 4th and 1, like you mentioned. The Bears bless them by doing the exact same idiotic thing when they have a chance to be the first one on the board. And then this collapse at the end, it all gets pointed to that. But Josh Jacobs didn't even play after his fumble the entire time, so you knew it was some sort of injury lingering with him. He should have never been in the ball game. Should have never been in the game.
He had a post on X last night, tweet, whatever you want to call it, and the whole like steam blowing out of your nostrils and all of that. And when I saw it and it was late last night, I saw it, I was like, oh, I don't think he's playing. I think he's mad because they're not going to let him play. And then coming up to game time, he proved in pregame that he can play. Well, it's just like last week, he couldn't finish the game. And the same thing happened this week. He can't finish the game. I've said this before, and I will say this again. At some point, you have to have control of your players. At some point, you just have to have control. You have to be able to say, no, you're not playing. We need you the rest of the year. We can win without you. We'll be fine. And you don't want to do it. And I'm not saying the injury cost him to fumble the damn football, but certainly should not have been out there. And Malik Willis, hey, man, what more could you have asked? He did everything he was supposed to do. I know he botched the center quarterback exchange, but sincerely, that game never should have got to that point.
No.
Like, he did everything he was supposed to do. Jordan Love goes out with a concussion on that helmet-to-helmet play. In comes Malik Willis in a huge ball game for this division and possibly the playoffs. And they don't miss a beat. Offense isn't run the same, completely different. They don't run the same offense, clearly. I mean, the run plays are even different design run plays than they run for Jordan Love when they have Malik Willis in there. So the offense itself changes for sure. But Matt LaFleur and that offense dominated the Bears defense for 4 quarters, guys. They didn't have them on a 1-2-3 pump the entire night.
Dominate, I think, is a strong word. They didn't finish. They didn't finish all day.
Well, whatever.
No, they didn't finish.
I don't care about the finishing part.
No, what do you mean? They needed touchdowns.
Listen to me. When I say dominate, I mean they had the ball drive after drive after drive. Mm-hmm. They held the Bears to 3 possessions in the first half?
Yeah.
3.
And they
shut out the Bears in the first half. It was the first time all year that the Bears were shut out in the first half. The Bears in 2 games against the Packers have scored 3 points in 2 first halves of the game. The problem is that when you get to the second half, Charlie Usen's already in the mentions, bear down, with his little bear and his down logo and all of that. And I'm sure he knows he got lucky. But, I mean, regardless, if you're a Bears fan, lucky or not, you're going to celebrate this because it normally never happens. And now, unless you completely puke all over yourself the last 2 weeks, you win the division. Like, division's theirs. Now, the question becomes, will the Packers still be in the playoffs when this is all said and done? And will it be the 2-7 matchup, Bears-Packers, at Soldier Field in the wild card round?
It's definitely going to depend on Love's health now. I don't think I feel really good about going in. Maybe a week of Malik Willis for a Ravens game, some people can justify.
You should be able to beat the Vikings with Malik Willis.
I don't want Jordan Love missing 2 games and then coming back in the playoffs. That sounds terrible.
Why?
Stay in this rhythm. What do you mean? They just showed today that they couldn't get in one with him during this, at least finish a drive with it. I would absolutely love to see Jordan Love back tomorrow, which I don't know if it's going to happen. If a concussion means
it takes days
he's going to get another game.
You got to get through concussion.
Saturday's probably helping him. Are they next Saturday, though?
Saturday night again.
Yeah, they're
right back at it. Lambeau Field against the Ravens Saturday night. One more time next week. So it's a regular week, though, as far as your normal rest. It's not a short week, at least for the Packers. All right, let's go. Let's talk. Enough of us talking. We got a lot of people messaging. Tommy will go find the best ones there on X and on YouTube, streaming live at WI Sports Radio. Let's talk, though. 414-677-1250. Nicolay Law, talking text line, 414-677-1250. John in Cedarburg, you're first as the Packers lose a heartbreaker in overtime, 22-16 to the Bears.
Well, that sucked. But I'm excited because I want the Bears in the playoffs. I want to play them in the playoffs again. With Jordan Love in that game, we kill them. That's all.
All right. Very good. Thanks for the call, John. Appreciate it.
I don't know if I believe that. I really don't.
I think there was an advantage the Packers had by getting Malik Willis in the middle of that game playing because they did not prepare to face Malik Willis and that Packers offense. And that really changed things up for Dennis Allen where they had to make adjustments on the fly to figure out. And realistically, they really didn't. I mean, they really didn't per se didn't stop him. Like it wasn't like Malik Willis, the Packers offense went 1-2-3 punt a couple of times or something like that. And punter was never even on the field. Wheelan was never on the field for a punt. Never even got to that point, for God's sakes. Like that's the crazy part to me in all of this is that it never even got to that point. This offense, Again, you go back to the first drive. Let's say they kick the field goal. That's 3 points. Let's say he doesn't fumble and they score the touchdown there. That's 7 points. That's another 10 points right there that you could have added on. Even if they kick the field goal instead of Jacobs fumbling it, that's 6. That's 6 points that you should have had there more. And again, it never gets to overtime and you win the game.
We also need to talk about the Rams fired their special teams coordinator this week.
No, they're not going to fire him.
I'm just saying the Rams did it. The Rams were the number 1 seed in the NFL, and they fired him. Like, Bisaccia, this is ridiculous that it happened again.
Yeah, it did. It happened again. Again, I would be shocked, though, if they fired him. I really would. Let's go to, is this Tim in Fredonia? You're next here on Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University after a Packers lost to the Bears 22-16.
Thanks for the rant, Sparky, and the line to vent. Yeah, Brandon Bostic 2.0. I mean, that was entirely brutal to have to watch that. And then, I wanted to shut the television off because, like, we've seen that ending, and yet I somehow was riveted until the winning catch in the end zone. Like, that sucked. And Bisaccia, like, should not have a job.
Well, he may or may not. I don't think it's going to matter one way or the other as far as how good the special teams unit is, because his assistant will just take over and run the same thing Rich is running. I saw the Rams. I saw McVay got furious because they lost the game, essentially, the last game, and he blamed the special team, so he found a goal. And that's fine. But even if you fire Bisaccia, I just don't think anything changes. You're not all of a sudden going to start returning kicks. You're not all of a sudden going to start returning punts.
Okay. So, again, like, if nothing's changing, it's just garbage every week. This is nothing new.
But my point is firing Bisaccia isn't going to change anything.
Do you still understand? Like, this team obviously still doesn't understand the kickoff rules. Like, they're the worst team getting out of the end zone or taking knees when they don't need to. They have a kick return in the onside kick in which you have to now tell the other team that you are going to onside kick, and they got the ball exactly where they wanted to. And Romeo Doubs, who was having a phenomenal game up until this point, botches it, and then his wrist is hurt now, and he can't play the rest of it while he's just watching the ball on the sideline. That is garbage. No, that is absolutely unacceptable loss by the Green Bay Packers. They had no business losing this game, and it was not in the control of the offense, Matt LaFleur at the end of this game, the usual suspects, but I can't believe it. I'm stunned. And like Jim said, like, that was, I brought it up. That was 2014 NFC Championship blueprint. Again, you missed the onside kick and then a massive play to end it. That was awful. I'm stunned, honestly.
Yeah, it was definitely awful. I don't disagree at all with you on the awful part. It was ugly. And again, they can blame nobody but themselves because they shot themselves in the foot as much as the Bears did something to beat them. And earlier today, we were watching the game. Kay was at home, and remember, I have a 9-year-old that's a Bears fan, so that you can only imagine what that was like in our house as this was going on. I'm glad I wasn't there.
Don't bring that up.
But she's like, this is like their damn Super Bowl. She's like, so they're ready to go, whatever. I'm like, well, it's a big game. It's like for the division. But then if you sit back and think about it as a Packer fan, it's like, okay, look, it's fine. You lose this game. That sucks. But if you win the game against them in the playoffs, that's going to hurt more for them than it is for you. And you won't worry about this game nearly as much going forward if you come back and beat them later in the playoffs.
Don't find a positive spin on this game.
I'm not finding a positive spin, man. I'm just saying if you win the playoff game, this one doesn't hurt as badly. Lamont, Northwest Side, you're next here on the Green Bay Football Postgame Show with me, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, and Tommy Wirtz. What's up, Lamont?
How y'all doing, man? This is absolutely unacceptable. I don't know. I don't have that many adverbs and adjectives to say how the Packers found every reason to lose this game. Defense was playing lights out. Let's give them credit. I think they got tired at the end. That's what happens, I believe, when you don't have Michael Parsons rushing. You leave your corners who aren't that good. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, man. But they got home. They got home in that all-out blitz, and Keyshawn Nixon just covers his guy and doesn't get confused. Walker never gets that ball.
Or the Brinson not a face mask call,
the
right?
Brinson
like
face
that was
mask call
huge in
killed
this
him
game.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Even with that, I mean, let's just count the ways and they lost. Then you have Romeo. As they slow everything down, you can tell that he took his eyes off of the ball. And on top of that, why would you have a guy out there who has 3 concussions in the last 2 years as your primary ball getter to actually cover an onside kick? You probably should have put Watson or somebody back there to actually, or even Hicks. Don't have Romeo Hobbs back there. Are we serious, y'all? We just gave them this game.
Yes, they definitely gave them this game. I completely agree with you on that. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Yes, the Packers definitely lost this game.
Okay,
there's no question.
How about this? We've seen some ugly ones this year. Is this the worst one?
Oh, this is probably one of the worst regular season losses I've seen. Period. Not just this year, just period. And first of all, if you lose this way to the Bengals or somebody, it's like, dude, that sucks. That hurt. But you lose this way in a game for first place and possibly the division title in Chicago against the damn Bears, this probably makes it one of the worst regular season losses I've seen in my lifetime. I don't know about everybody else, but Terrell on the north side, CB downtown, you guys, downtown Milwaukee, you guys are coming up. Still room for you if you're in Appleton, Green Bay on WNFL, the game in Wausau or Duluth Superior. Dial it up, Nicolay Law Fan Talk, and text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Packers lose 22-16 to the Chicago Bears in heartbreaking fashion on a great throw from Caleb Williams to DJ Moore to beat Keyshawn Nixon. And now it looks like the Bears will win the division, and the Packers will have to see who plays next week against the Ravens on Saturday night. It's the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky with you. Bears rush 4. Willis floats with deep. He's got Dobbs. He's got it. Touchdown, Green Bay. That was, of course, before Romeo Dobbs got hurt. That made it 13-3, 10-point lead, which was what they had going into the fourth quarter. And the Bears said, right where we want you. Right where we want you. We're the comeback kids this year, don't you know? They almost got the Packers the last time they faced them in the exact same scenario where they had to come back to beat the Packers the last time. Sparky with you. Tommy Wirtz over there, other side of the glass. Green Bay Football Postgame Show powered by Lakeland University. Here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Trell, north side of Milwaukee. You are up next on the Nicolay Law Talking text line. What's up, Trell?
What's going on? This got to be one of the most gut-wrenching regular season losses I can remember in the history of Packers.
Yep.
And maybe my memory's collapsing, but I don't remember having this type of pain in a regular season before. It's probably because it's the Bears. I hate the Bears.
Correct.
I cannot stand the Bears.
Yes.
I would say this, Sparky. I said something after the Denver Broncos game when they had all those injuries, and Parsons, of course. I said I believe this team will have a better chance of probably missing the playoffs than they would have going to the Super Bowl. And as good as I felt for majority of that game, that they actually are going to get it done, for it to happen like this, and with all these injuries that they've been having this year, Sparky, and you're talking about, I heard you, the reason why I called really, because I wasn't going to call, I heard you say, they can beat Minnesota with Malik Willis. I don't know about that, Sparky. Minnesota is not an easy team to beat, even though they don't have a lot of wins. They just went down to Dallas and whooped the crap out of Dallas. And they played better in that dome of theirs. And that quarterback they got is playing pretty good right now.
McCarthy.
I don't think we got no gimmies or easy nothing going on. And Malik Willis actually got hurt.
He got his shoulder driven into the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, they let the guy slam him. I've never seen so much. I mean, football is a physical sport, but my God, they were getting away with a whole bunch of stuff that they shouldn't have been getting away in that game, man.
Again, it's not the 80s Packer Bears, but they were trying to get there, the Bears were. Thanks for the call. And you get your quarterback taken out on a helmet-to-helmet hit. I tweeted out at Sparky Radio, said, well, let's see how the defense responds when they're on the field after this. The response? Nothing. They did nothing. There was no response physicality-wise. Keyshawn Nixon that hurt earlier in the game and DJ Moore's back, that was Packer-Bears rivalry. That was the last thing that happened on the Packer side for that. And then they lost. Maybe that is, like the 80s as well. That'll do it for this hour. Coming back, more time for you, Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250. Packers lose 22-16.
Show them what time it is.
The game is over. What went right and what went wrong? It's time for the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. Let's get to your hosts of the show, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer and Tommy Wirtz, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
22-16, Packers lose in overtime after they shot themselves in the foot about 1,000 times. I think you could argue they lost this game more than the Bears won this game, if we're being honest with ourselves. I mean, you have a fumble by, even if you take away the screwed up first drive where they don't score any points and going for it on fourth down, you need to take that away. The fumble by Josh Jacobs, the blown recovery of an onside kick, those two things by themselves win you the football game. If you just do either one, Jacobs doesn't fumble and you get 3, bare minimum, you win. If you just recover the onside kick, you need a first down and the game's over. That's all you needed to do. That was it. It was that literally going to be that simple. And you couldn't even get that right. All right, before we get back to the calls, still room for you as well. Nicolay Law talk and text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Tommy Wirtz, what do we got on YouTube and X? We're streaming live at WI Sports Radio.
Well, I got to give you guy Rainbow Trout a shout out whenever he comes in. He says, blow it all up, fire MLF, fire Goody, season's over. Rocket knees in here. Nixon should not get on the plane with the team.
Every week I feel like he blows stuff. Every week.
I have Martin. They couldn't finish. Green Bay cannot close a game also being on there. I thought this was a good one, too. All Dobbs needs to do is catch the onside kick, and we win the division. What a joke. Total Packers meltdown from Tours as well.
I will say this, man. The Bears, I don't know if this is going to be their magic carpet ride year to the Super Bowl or what exactly. But when you have, 6, 7 comeback victories in the fourth quarter this year like they do, you have all these turnovers that they're getting, breaks that are happening. Maybe, man. Maybe it's going to be this year. Maybe this is going to be the year. Or the football gods are setting them up for heartbreak later. I have no idea how this is going to play out. But it's been a long time since the Bears have been any good. Long time. And the Packers should be better than they are. I think we all agree on that. Definitely should have won this football game. Let's go to CB, downtown Milwaukee. You're next on the Nicolay Law Talk text line. What's up, CB?
What's going on, man? It was a good game, man. You got to give it to both teams. They played their hearts out. But it just goes back to Dobbs, man. He's the culprit. I wouldn't deal with him after the season. I'll let him go. He just, I don't know, sometimes his head be in the game, then sometimes it doesn't. That should have been an easy, let me catch, fall down, that's it. You would have killed him right then and there. But it just didn't work out that way. And I think we still can win the division. We got the Ravens and we got the Vikings. Bears got some tough games too now because they didn't look all that great either.
Well, no, they've got the Niners and the Lions. They could easily lose their last two. Packers could win their last two and they could win the division, yes. But again, odds probably aren't in your favor necessarily that it's going to go that way, but it could go that way. Absolutely.
Exactly. Willis looked good. He came in, did what he had to do. That last snap thing, I don't know what was going on with that. But otherwise than that, it starts off with Dobbs. So if Dobbs would have caught that ball, it would have been lights out, and that would have been it.
Yeah.
Because you would have recovered from Jacobs' fumble. You would have recovered from that.
I got you, CB. Thanks for the call, buddy. Have a good night.
I blame Josh Jacobs more than I blame Romeo Dobbs even in this game. I really do. He was obviously so not healthy that they didn't go for it with him on 4th and 1 in the first possession of the game too. I know Romeo Dobbs obviously is the guy who doesn't catch the ball.
Quarterback sneak.
Right? Yeah. And they did it immediately with Malik Willis. They did it. They've never done one with Jordan Love ever.
He's done.
Feels like. I said feels like it.
Let's go to Lewis, north side of Milwaukee. You're next on the Nicolay Law Talk text line after the Packers lose tonight 22-16 to the Bears. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer with you along with Tommy Wirtz. What's up, Lewis?
What's up, Spark? Man, this guy's talking about we could possibly win the division, but we might not win another game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you, what do you think's a better chance? the Bears going 2-0 the next 2 weeks or us going 0-2. I'm telling you, it's better chance of us going 0-2 than them going 2-0. And I think the head coach, he is paid to make a couple decisions a game. We all know that, right?
Yeah.
This team has no identity, Sparky. Remember this? Scared money don't make money. I knew when we got down there that first series, I said he's going to go for it. And the play calling is like, if we just put 3 points on the board right there, it's a different ball game, right?
Yes. If we just kick for the 3 points. But he's playing against Ben Johnson, who also is going to go for it, who also is a complete idiot for running that play with Cole Kmet down there and then that snap between Kmet's legs. That is typical Ben Johnson trying to be the smartest guy in the room. That would have been the talk of Chicago had they lost this football game.
But
for
also,
sure.
but here's the problem. So all coaches want to be the smartest in the room. You know what I'm saying? But we just have two prime examples we saw of guys who do it to the utmost. But the problem is we've had 5 or 6 years of Matt LaFleur thinking he's the smartest guy in the room, and it's time for him to go.
It felt like didn't it feel like the game got taken out of his hands today, Lewis? Like that he was doing everything in his power to keep his defense off the field because they just lost Micah Parsons.
Long sustained drives.
They were terrible at finishing. Cannot defend him on that.
Thanks for the call, Lewis.
But then on top of it, like the game got taken out of Matt LaFleur's hands at the end of it.
I'm seeing people talking about getting rid of Matt LaFleur in the YouTube in the X chat. We're just not going to agree on this because I firmly believe this. I think when Malik Willis gets to free agency this offseason, nobody's going to offer him a starting job. He's going to end up signing as a backup somewhere. The Packers are probably going to pay that cat $5, $6, $7 million a year to be the backup to Jordan Love. And I really believe that a majority of people around the National Football League realize Malik Willis looks as good as Malik Willis does because of the situations that Matt LaFleur puts him in to be successful.
Yeah, it looks like sometimes Matt LaFleur wants Malik Willis in the game.
He's so good with it.
He just wants to be able to do short check down, take what they give you,
throw
a read option.
But even the runs, Tommy, you go back and look at some of the running plays. They don't run those same running plays when Jordan Love is in the game.
Well, no, again,
it completely changes everything.
Most of this game was the backup quarterback and the backup running back leading this team down the field.
Yep.
That was most of this game.
Let's go to Corey, my guy in the big truck down in Phoenix, Arizona, where I'm sure it's warmer than it is here. What's up, Corey?
Sparky, happy holidays to everybody back home.
Happy holidays.
Look, last week in Denver, what happened? 6 points. Come on, man. When you get in the red zone, man, you got to put that thing in the end zone, man.
Yep.
This ain't nothing to do with Malik. Malik, please stay in Green Bay. But if you score touchdowns instead of field goals, we win this game, man. Green Bay has a red zone problem, man. Period. This is 2 games in a row. And if we look closely, you can probably find that problem in a couple of more games, man. Dude, you gotta score touchdowns. That's the thing, man. I mean, all that other stuff, yeah, that's just how the game goes. But you get down there, you gotta put the ball in the end zone. Period.
Yeah, they know that. They understand they got to put the ball in the end zone, and that's obviously clearly an issue and was tonight. You get down there the one time, and Love throws a ball that either he just threw it poorly or the wind took it, whatever you want to put it on behind Watson. Then you get down there again, and Malik Willis throws a horrible ball behind Watson that could have been intercepted had the Bear defender got his head around. So they didn't get that one. Jacobs fumbles away another opportunity when they're down there in the red zone. It wasn't just one guy. That's the thing. It was several guys that were responsible for not finishing in the red zone tonight.
Again, Green Bay has a red zone problem. And when you have that problem, you are not going to win games, man. When you get down there, you have to score, man.
Yep, I agree with you.
Yeah, hey, Sparky, man. Look, I'm going to let you go to other callers, but hey, man, it's always a pleasure that you take my call, and I'm always listening, man.
I appreciate you, Corey, forever. Take care, buddy.
You as well.
Take care. There he is, Corey, in the big truck.
So after their last 3 games, Green Bay is 20% in the red zone scoring a touchdown.
That's horrible.
58.9 is 14th in the NFL after today's game.
14th?
Right above Chicago at 58.8.
Bob in Minneapolis on the Nicolay Law Talking text line. I have to be consistent. I believe the reason the Packers didn't win more Super Bowls was because of McCarthy and Capers. This season did it for me. The reason the Packers haven't won more Super Bowls is because of LaFleur and our special teams coach. Hopefully the Packers hold on to LaFleur as long as they did. Highly successful coach. That, of course, being Mike McCarthy, who called himself a highly successful coach. That's who Bob in Minneapolis is referring to. So somebody else going after Matt LaFleur tonight on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Open for you, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Let's go to Steve in Greenfield. You're next after the Packers lose 22-16 here on the Green Bay Football Postgame Show powered by Lakeland University. What's up, Steve?
Yeah, it's a horrible comedy of errors, and don't forget the face mask on Warren Brinson.
Yep,
that was a crucial moment too.
Sure was.
I want to ask you this: the hit on Jordan Love that knocked him out of the game. I thought that was a very intentional cheap shot.
Yes,
and I think it's worthy of a suspension. What do you think?
It won't be. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Now, even though Love got a concussion, and a lot of times when you get these over-the-top penalties, it's if a player gets severely hurt or something like that, that happens. But I think if the league office looks at that, they're going to say Jordan Love lowered his head just before he got hit as well. So they're going to put some of the blame on Love. I don't think there'll be a suspension or anything of the sort. I was disappointed that there wasn't some type of payback from the Packers defense at some point when the Bears got the ball back, and that's just not how we play in the NFL anymore. Definitely not how the Packers play. You definitely could feel like, do you know what that felt like? That felt like a Dan Campbell-led type of, we're going to be overly aggressive tonight to prove a point to the Green Bay Packers.
You can point back to the opening kickoff. Like. I mean, look at the opening kickoff where they were jumping on top of each other. You know, it was exactly what they were told. They were told to go out there and send a message.
Yeah, absolutely.
I only made it to the level of Division III ball, but if I was playing against 94, he wouldn't be going off the field on the stretcher.
But again, you're old school, right? I mean, today's guys don't look at it that way. They just don't. Thanks for the call. LaFleur does not coach that way. LaFleur will never coach that way.
I'm not asking.
Most of the guys in the league are not going to coach that way. Ben Johnson is a disciple of Campbell. So I'm not surprised that you have this type of stuff from the Chicago Bears. And again, I'm not mad about it. What I'm frustrated with is that we did nothing to return the favor. That's where I get irritated. And you could say, well, win the game, Sparky. Don't stoop to their level. Do you know what it's like? It's like when somebody hits your guy in baseball, what are you going to do? Nothing? Okay. Then one of your guys gets hit a second time. What are you going to do? Nothing. You're just going to try and play to win the game. Okay, then. That stuff drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Like, that can't be a thing, man. They came out with the idea of, we're going to physically intimidate you at home and try and get in your heads as quickly as possible. That's what they wanted to do. And outside the key shot Nixon hit in the back of DJ Moore, which also was pretty much a cheap shot, outside of that, there was nothing else that the Packers did in this game to send a message at any point.
Do you think, I want to go to this comment here in the dugout. Mark writes in, Dobbs will be shown the exit after the season, just like Bostic. Fans will never forgive him. Is this a play that you think is going to be synonymous with Romeo Dobbs?
Absolutely.
Like when you think of Romeo Dobbs, you're just going to think of the onside kick?
The Bostic thing is ridiculous. Just stop with the Bostic thing. Bostic was told not to jump for the ball. Do not go after the ball. Was told that.
Yeah.
And then did it.
Yep.
That's totally different. Like, I'm sure they're like, this is Romeo's ball. Get out of the way. He's got it. Okay, sounds good. So the ball goes ding, 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 ding.
But
right
again,
to Romeo Dobbs. I got it. Oh, I don't have it.
Again, maybe recency bias on this, but what's a bigger play right now in his career? I mean, he's had plays, he scored touchdowns, right? I mean,
he had a couple of catches in this game that were really good.
And it's not going to be his most famous play from this game, I'll tell you that.
No, obviously not. No, I agree. I'm just saying comparing those two is ridiculous because
sure,
one guy was told not to touch the ball and not to go for it and said, I'm going to go for it anyhow.
Right.
And then cost yourself And it was the NFC title game with a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
100%.
You were up with 5 minutes to go in that game, and it was over.
They were up by 10 with 2 minutes today.
Yeah, but this is a regular season game, too. I mean, it's not. I understand it feels like it did in 2014, but this is a regular season game. They could probably will face the Bears in the playoffs at Soldier Field. Now, if this was a playoff game, right? If this was their third matchup and you lose and the Bears move and you're done for the season, then it's even worse.
We also have not brought up this play, but also needs to be talked about and could be pointed to difference in win or loss, because I believe the Bears got a field goal on this drive. Is Xavier McKinney going to ever catch an interception ever again in his life?
He was there. He got in front of the guy.
It's 2 weeks in a row he's dropped the ball.
Last week.
Like, what are we doing, man? You were the guy who had 8 interceptions last season, and now every time you're put in the right spot, you never come through in this moment.
Said it yesterday at Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's when we were at the Brat Stop for Brat Bowl 3, that I thought this game was going to come down to turnovers, and the Packers were going to have to get a turnover or two on defense in order to win this game. Then in the fourth quarter, I was tweeting, guys, you have to get a turnover now. Let's go. It was a 10-point game, I think, when I tweeted that out. And I was like, you have to get a turnover. Nope. Couldn't get a turnover. And that, again, if this defense is going to help you go win a Super Bowl, they have to start getting turnovers every week.
Well,
if they don't, it's not happening.
No Micah Parsons, and they're going up against Caleb Williams, but they didn't get to the quarterback today either. The one time they did was the face.
They got some pressure on him. Like, again, that all-out blitz at the end. If Keyshawn Nixon doesn't lose Walker in the end zone, he can't make that throw, and the game's over.
Well, I feel like we've said that a couple of times about Keyshawn Nixon.
I understand.
Year, you know?
I understand. Irv, north side of Milwaukee, you're next here on the Green Bay Football Postgame Show as the Packers lose 22-16. What's up, Irv?
Hey, man, listen, great game. But you guys been saying it all night, or people been talking about it, been hitting at it. Keyshawn Nixon, man, is always the culprit in most of these games. He gets torched at least once, or he costs us a game this year.
I know.
He blew it. He blew his assignment when they tied the game, and then he got burnt. You know.
Yep.
In this play, and he could have got burnt in the game we lost and we won in Green Bay.
They just have to draft corners. I mean, that's all I don't want. You don't have to worry about any other damn position. Just draft like 6 corners in the draft.
Yeah, here's my problem. Like they said at the beginning of the game, Michael Parsons had 83 quarterback rush, not rush,
pressures,
sacks, but pressures.
Yep.
And Gary has 40. That's ridiculous. Like, and so going in, he gets hurt. I can't understand why the Packers front office then scoured the NFL. You had Judon out there. You let him go to the Bills. He just signed with the Bills.
Yep.
Like, those are the teams that make moves that can win them championships. We should have had that dude in here as soon as he got cut, because we know Van Ness doesn't do nothing. Nobody else can get pressure on that side of the ball but Gary, and he just half effort most of the time. So without a pass rush, we don't go nowhere. Period.
Thanks for the call, Rashawn Gary. The next time he hustles through an entire play will be the first time. How many times am I going to watch that dude give up on a play and stop running hard? Stop. He does it over and over. And then, I got to come out. My cardio is awful, so I'm going to take myself out of the game again after he played like 2 plays in a row.
And let's hear another excuse about how great he is in the run game. He is not paid to be good in the run game. And did he make a single tackle for loss again today? Is anyone seeing Rashawn Gary coming up with a huge play? Jordan Riley, that guy that they brought in out of nowhere, sneaky decent game out of that guy.
Last week he played okay too.
Yeah, I was very impressed with what they were doing. The Bears want to just run the football, and when they had to move out of it, the Packers had them right where they wanted them the entire time. And then it was obviously Caleb Williams has to pass, and at the end of a game, he comes up with the big play. But man, that was garbage execution. And like you said, with Rashawn Gary, I mean, just unacceptable effort from a guy who's now expected to be the leader after your best player and your biggest leader on the team just went down and will be out for the entire offseason as well. Like, just garbage from Rashawn Gary.
Tommy Wirtz over there, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer here, and we'll hear from Ryan Wood, I believe, from the Green Bay Press-Gazette, Packers beat writer. We'll hear from Matt LaFleur as well coming up in just a little bit. Let's go to Tony in Chicago. You're next on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line as the Packers lose 22-16. What's up, Tony?
Hey, how you doing? A couple of things right away. I said this for 2 years. Use Malik Willis on situational downs. You could use him in a wildcat. You could use him by the goal line.
Yep.
Use imagination. I told him, keep the opposing defense on their toes. When he comes in, what are they going to do? Here, 3rd and 1. We know, the whole world knows, it's Jacobs up the middle. And he was hurting tonight. You shouldn't even give him the ball that much because he was hurting. His imagination skills need to be LaFleur. I don't know. I give him 7 years. If you don't make the playoffs, he's gone. That's all I'm saying. 7 years we gave him. He doesn't make the playoffs, he's gone. That's it. That's all I'm saying. We got a new president policy. He will bring his own coach.
Does it make the playoffs? They go to the playoffs every year. What are you talking about?
I want more than first and one and done. I want to get at least to the conference championship.
Well, that's not what you said. That's not what you said, Tony. You said if they don't make the playoffs for 7 consecutive years.
If they don't make it this year, if they don't win those 2 games and make it for whatever reason, I think policy will get rid of him. He's a new president. They like to bring their own coaches and stuff in. We'll see. Time will tell. I'm just saying, use Malik. Use an imagination. I see other teams do it all the time.
Tony, if Jordan Love misses next week and they lose that game, then there's no chance Matt LaFleur is getting fired because that means you're without your quarterback and your best pass rusher.
Well, that's a built-in excuse.
Correct.
But we'll see. We'll see what policy wants to do.
We'll see.
Jordan Love is slow. Willis is quicker, stronger.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He's definitely faster. No question. Yes, Tony, I agree with you. 1,000%.
Put him in there.
Yeah,
Put him in there. All right.
Thanks for the call, Tony. Yeah.
Please no.
Yeah, he's definitely faster.
Please no.
But again, this is the thing, guys. You're going to let if he plays next week, Baltimore's going to get a full week to prepare for him. And Matt LaFleur will get a full week to build an offense around him like he did previously. This is the first game Malik Willis has lost where he's come in or started where they ended up losing the game.
No, it was a Bears game last year, too.
If you recover the onside kick, you would have won that one. He still wouldn't have a loss on his record as a Packers quarterback, either starting or coming in after the fact. Kevin in Chicago, you'll lead things off coming up on the other side. Still room for you as well. Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. We'll hear from Matt LaFleur. Check in with Ryan Wood, all straight ahead. Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by the Lakeland University, live from Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky and Tommy here. Welcome in. I got nothing to play. I was looking at the highlight folder Tommy Wirtz made me. See Sparky 5 with you. Complete crap. There's nothing. There's like the Dobbs touchdown. About it. Right?
That's about it. Yeah.
About it. Field goal. Bunch of crap out other than that. Packers lose 22-16. Green Bay football postgame show powered by Lincoln University as we broadcast live. Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Could you imagine what that place was like tonight? Oh my goodness. Because you have to imagine there were a lot of Bears fans there, a lot of Packer fans there. Oh, couldn't imagine.
No, that was brutal. And I also think that you can't say this offense was dominating this team and then you say, wow, look at how sad this highlight folder was.
Well, it's because you didn't cut anything other than the touchdown.
Well, because there was nothing good to cut. You want McManus field goals
They marched up and down the field on this Bears defense.
7-yard gains.
I don't care. Whatever it was. Highlights. I'm just saying they marched up and down the field on this defense. Wasn't like that Bears defense played worth a damn.
Plenty of Bears highlights in there.
There is clearly a situation where the Packers lost this game more than the Bears won this game, in my opinion.
100%.
Kevin in Chicago, you are next here on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. What's up, Kevin?
Right, not much. Real quick, I had 3 points, but like you guys kind of ruined it.
Sorry.
I know. Like, so I'm from Chicago. I'm a Packer fan for Brett Favre. First off, the Bear fans here are they're horrible human beings. They are trying to fight and whatever. But like, let's talk about this real fast. First off, we didn't have Love. Fine. We didn't have Parsons. Fine. Whatever. At the end of the day, like I feel like who needed the win? They did. They needed the win. Let's just back up. Just think about it. Like we're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna make the playoffs. We'll play in Chicago.
Yep.
Like it's over. Like we're fine. And the cheap shot to Love, that was a cheap shot. Like no offense. Like I told my friend, like I'm like that's a cheap shot. That's a helmet to helmet. Like that Deion should have got kicked out. That was a dirty play. Like I'm not trying to be that kind of guy, but like that was a really bad play. When he got hit, that was high. It should have been suspension. Next game, you're done. Like I'm from Chicago. Like that's.
I understand, Kevin. Get some sleep, buddy. Look, this is the thing. We can talk about that being a cheap shot. Love did drop his head, though. I mean, if we're being fair about this, he did drop his head. The flag was called. Flag should have been called 15 yards. They did the right thing.
Yeah.
I highly, highly, highly doubt that there is going to be a suspension at the end. I just don't think there's going to be a suspension.
Maybe a fine.
And I get that we're all men. We all hate the Bears and the fans and all of that. And yes, I get all of it. I'm just being honest with what I saw. There's just no reason to give that guy a suspension. KJ in West Allis, you're next after the Packers lose 22-16 to the Chicago Bears. What's going on, KJ?
What's up, Sparky? Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Let's not forget, Sparky, first off, that 94 got a penalty prior to that hit for pile driving Jordan Love. So that's 2 penalties. He's definitely going to get fined. I can't say he's going to get suspended.
Yeah, he might get fined.
He will get fined.
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, after the Denver game, my thoughts were that the Packers were in trouble because of all the consequential injuries. Now, I really think that. I mean, obviously, you don't have Tucker Kraft. You don't have Parsons. You got Love concussed. You got Jacobs banged up. You got one tight end. I mean, Dobbs' wrist or whatever it is. I mean, so there's a lot of things. Malik Willis, we don't know what his status is going to be for next game. So there's a lot going on, man. And it definitely was very clearly evident tonight that the fact that Micah Parsons is not in there, obviously, is a big thing. They tried to rush Caleb Williams about 58 or some percent versus, like 20-some% when he was in there.
Well, they
and
blitzed.
They weren't getting home.
They blitzed
It's
way
open
more.
time.
They blitzed way more tonight, KJ, than they normally do.
Yeah, and that's opening up when you don't get home, Sparky. That opens up like a sieve. That secondary, and they do not have a good secondary. Let's face it. So that's what was a big factor, and it's going to be a huge factor going forward, Sparky. Thanks for taking my call.
No doubt. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call.
Do you know who the Packers practice squad quarterback is?
I know. I don't.
Clayton Tune.
Well, that's your backup quarterback next week, folks. I literally while he was talking, I was like, I told Tommy off there, I was like, hey, find out who the quarterback is on the practice squad. Every team's got at least one. So I was like, there's gonna have to be somebody on that practice squad to possibly go at. I mean, now again,
they can bring back Sean Clifford from the
Phillip Rivers is playing. So call Matt Flynn. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but hopefully Jordan Love can play against the Ravens. You don't got to worry about scrambling to find a backup to Malik Willis, because if it's Clayton Tune, let's hope it's not Clayton Tune at this point. All right. Let's just hope that is not going to be the case. All right. Let's hear some clips from Matt LaFleur from after this game talking about the onside kick.
Rob, I saw the ball. I'm watching the ball the whole time. As far as what was it blocked well enough, I have to go back and watch the tape. But, I thought we had an opportunity to field the ball. We just didn't field the ball.
Yes. 1,000%.
The question was it blocked well enough?
Yes, it was fine.
Right.
Yes, I have no problem. I'll answer. It was fine. The ball had I swear to you, watching it here in the studio, I felt like I was watching slow motion as the ball just bounced and bounced. And there's like 3 Packers and bounced and bounced. And here's Dobbs. I got it. Poof. Gone. Game over. Not crazy. Matt LaFleur talking about Jeff Hafley's defense.
Yeah, I thought there was outstanding play. It's unfortunate we gave up. Obviously, Chicago got an extra possession right there with when we on the onside kick, and then the extra possession in overtime. But I thought all in all, our defense performed pretty well.
I agree. I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
What's the grade?
I don't know. C.
That's not pretty well.
You didn't cost your team the game.
They did cost the team the game. They gave up the touchdown at the end of the game.
I don't give a damn about the touchdown at the end of the game.
Interception.
It never should have gotten to the touchdown at the end of the game. You had a 4th-and-1 play. That's the offense. You didn't finish. Jacobs fumbled the ball down in the red zone.
Yep.
That's your offense.
Yeah.
Malik Willis had an opportunity and threw a ball behind Christian Watson.
They didn't cause a turnover. They didn't sack the quarterback. They needed to come up with something in this game, and they did not. They did not.
That's fine. If to me,
everyone's calling about how the corners suck. Everyone wants to call about how Rashawn Gary sucks.
Yes.
Who are we saying had a great game on the defense?
Yes. But if you talk about why they lost, that's the last thing you get to. You talk about the offensive fiasco and then the special teams.
Yeah.
Defense is like 4th or 5th on the list.
It's starting to look like they played a bad football game, isn't it?
Oh.
What?
Look,
they had 16 points at the end of the game.
I understand. I'm just telling you, last week on this show, this postgame show, I said they might not win a game the rest of the year because I was completely demoralized.
Yep.
Whatever. After this game, I think they can win the next 2. With Malik Willis, I don't even need Jordan. I think they can win the next 2 without. Now, Derrick Henry, we're going to see how that looks. But, I mean, overall.
If they can't catch Caleb Williams, how are they going to catch Lamar Jackson?
Good. That's going to be the Jeff Hafley issue. We're going to find out how that's all going to play out. But, again, this offense looked good to me, man. I know they didn't finish in the end zone, but they moved that ball up and down the field with their backup quarterback and their backup running back. And just, they was doing their thing. Micah Parsons was praising Malik Willis on his one and only X post that he had. So, fine. Matt LaFleur, I'm Malik Willis.
I thought Malik went in there and did a hell of a job. And he was poised, made some plays with his legs, made some plays with his arm, made some off-schedule plays. It felt like the operation was pretty smooth for the most part. But, just not enough at the end, obviously.
Definitely Not enough at the end. Back to YouTube and X for a couple of more comments there. What do you got over there in the
Yeah,
dugout?
I just read a couple there. One from Will. Biggest play was the defensive failure on 4th and 4. Blew the coverage. That's another point where Keyshawn Nixon, they had it.
Yep.
They absolutely had it. It was done.
That pressure got home when they brought everybody.
Another one here. A couple people calling in about Romeo Dobbs. Best moving on from Green Bay. Jeff Halfley waiting in the wings. He thought his coaching was superb. That came from Mark again. I don't know. You got to find a way to score touchdowns. That's what Curtis said in there. And I think that's where, like, I think it's a good point by you saying defense is the last thing you talk about. By no means do I want to hear the defense played fine, like good today. No, I don't think they did. I think they blew the game at the end of it ultimately too.
Matt LaFleur talking about resiliency.
Yeah, I mean that's football, right? And you got to stay resilient. And I've said it many times. That's, in my opinion, whether it's football or life, that's the key. Just staying resilient. You roll up your sleeves, you get back to work, and you continue to fight. And that's what our guys will do.
Oh my God.
Well, what's he gonna say? Season's over. We're going home. We're not gonna play the last.
No,
two
I
weeks.
don't need life metaphors from Matt LaFleur after this game.
Well, he's got to answer questions. I mean, you do Marshawn Lynch and not answer anything, you get fined, I guess. But what is he going to say? He's a coach. He's got to say something along those lines. I don't care who the head coach is of this team. You got to say something along those lines. Take a quick time out. Come back. We'll hear from Ryan Wood, Packers beat writer for the Green Bay Press Gazette, straight ahead here on the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Pain. It's real. So real.
You just be positive, like in the last segment.
I don't want to get to the guy on hold.
Oh, man.
I don't want to talk to him. Because he was right. Said it yesterday. And not only did he say it yesterday, Packers lose 22-16. Green Bay football postgame show powered by Lakeland University. Live. Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Lost in overtime. Heartbreaking throw. Caleb Williams to DJ Moore. Highlight of Caleb Williams' career to this point. Joining us now on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. It's a guy that started the worst hour in the history of the Wisconsin Sports Daily program yesterday. This fool, Ryan Wood, Packers beat writer for the Green Bay Press-Gazette, came on, picked the Bears. Then we went to our fantasy football segment. Joe Bartel, RotoWire, he picks the Bears. Then we end the show in the last segment with Austin Herdina, Potawatomi Sportsbook manager, and he picks the Chicago Bears. To which I yelled at all three of you, and you were all right. So go ahead, let me have it.
Oh, I don't know if I'm going to take any credit for being right. I was right about the Packers, but the Bears still suck. And they played terrible. And that was a hand gift wrap present of a win that they couldn't secure because they couldn't secure an onside kick. First of all, I have to point out, kudos to whoever picked out the intro music. This is definitely an Alanis Morissette loss. It's very fitting. It's an absolute mess. But it was one of those games that I thought with 2 minutes to go, the Packers were on the verge of having a signature huge victory. My God, the post-game handshake for Matt LaFleur to be without Micah Parsons, Evan Williams, Devontae Wyatt, Tucker Kraft, Elton Jenkins, Zach Tom, Josh Jacobs, and Christian Watson clearly banged up. Without all that talent, to beat Ben Johnson twice this year, and then they just absolutely fell flat on their face. I'll say this. My mind when I thought the Packers were going to win was huge victory. Obviously the NFC North stakes, which now is rendered moot, but they have to play a lot better even with that win to really be a legitimate playoff pushing type team, a team that can make a run in the postseason, because they did not play well. The Bears just played poorly as well. The 0 for 5 in the red zone. But then it all comes together. The reason they were 0 for 5 in the red zone is that's the reason why the onside kick mattered. They lost the game because of the onside kick. They didn't just lose the game because of the onside kick. They lost the game also because they couldn't punch the ball in the end zone all night, despite Jordan Love, Malik Willis, didn't matter the quarterback, moving it up and down the field on that defense all night. And when you don't play at a good level, then you're asking for something like that to be the difference, and that's what happened. All right, so I don't even know where to start. I guess the first place we'll start with is this Packers offense and Malik Willis. This offense definitely, and I don't care what Matt LaFleur says, is not the same offense they run with Jordan Love at quarterback. Even the run plays aren't the same run plays. It doesn't feel like that they run with Jordan Love. This offense definitely changes, and I thought in a weird way it was a benefit to the Packers that Love maybe didn't come back in the second half because Dennis Allen didn't have an answer necessarily for how to stop this Packers offense. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say it's a benefit that Jordan Love didn't come back because the high-end ceiling for those two quarterbacks is very different. Jordan Love's elite level is just at a level that Malik Willis is the gift that keeps on giving, man. That 7th-round pick Brian Gutekunst sent to the Tennessee Titans before last season, a huge winning trade. But he doesn't have that top-notch gear that Jordan Love has.
Yes, but Jordan Love doesn't have the legs that Malik Willis has either, and that is an element that he did not have time to prepare for. You got to throw in this league. Jordan Love did make a couple plays. He did. With his legs that were significant. No one's confusing him for Malik Willis's running ability. It's like trying to confuse Rashawn Gary for Micah Parsons' pass rushing ability. You're just not. We're not doing that. Well, Rashawn Gary doesn't even finish running hard to a sideline. Does he run? So, yeah. I'm saying this is a passing league. Jordan Love's the best option there. But yes, it's an entirely different offense. I mean, it's clear Matt LaFleur has his backup offense for his backup quarterback. They did not lose this game because Jordan Love got a concussion. Correct. That is not why they lost. Yep. They lost this game because they were 0 for 5 in the red zone, which
prompted an onside kick they could not recover. Without being 0 for 5 in the red zone, there is no onside kick. They should have won this game easily. That's why I'm not in a mood. Hey, I'll gloat with the best with them when I hit it right on the money. I'm not taking any bragging rights from that. They outplayed the Bears. They just lost.
Ryan, is this cornerback room just going to be a problem the rest of the year? Is there no more hope on it? Looking at silver linings, good games along the way, like, is it really going to be, with this lack of Micah Parsons to help in the pass rush game, they're going to just continue to get exposed every week?
Yeah. At some point, the attrition, I think, crosses a threshold where it's no longer an excuse, it's a reason. I think that's where this team is. And then you add gut-punching losses on top of that. 2 straight weeks now, the Packers have been on the road against a quality opponent in a game that they absolutely felt like they should have won. Either would have been huge wins. They felt like they had it in their hand, and then things go south very, very fast. You have those type of crushing losses and these type of crushing injuries. At some point, you just get the feeling it's not their year.
How much?
Like, that's just where I'm at.
How much of this do you put on Matt LaFleur for the red zone inefficiency?
Very little. Players got to make plays. I thought, actually, you know what? Before that onside kick, what the Packers reminded me of tonight was what the Carolina Panthers did going into Lambeau Field and coming out with an upset. A game that they really shouldn't have won, and they won. And that's kind of how I felt about the Bears. Okay, they don't have Roma Dunze. I get it. They have injuries too, but nothing compared to the Packers. It's not even close. This is not a game in this environment, road game, true road game. I've 12 years come down here for Chicago every year. I've never seen this many Bears at a Packers game. The Bears fans at a Packers game. It was rocking. This was not a game on paper that they should have won. And Matt LaFleur coached his team to a position that I did not see coming. I did not expect. Ball control offense. And it just reminded me of what Matt LaFleur said after the Panthers beat him, where the Carolina Panthers played their game exactly the way they knew they needed to play to win, and they executed it. And, okay, 0 for 5 in the red zone. They didn't execute at a high level. I get that. But the ball control offense, he put this team in position. All they had to do, despite 0 for 5 in the red zone, was secure an onside kick.
Yep, I got you, Ryan. We got to run, man. Follow Ryan on Twitter at @ByRyanRadio. Packers beat writer for the Green Bay Press Gazette. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it.
Hey, take care.
There he is on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Packers lose 22-16. Thanks for listening. Bears fans are excited. They want credit for Caleb Williams. I'm sure the score in Chicago is probably giving them credit. Check that station out. Enjoy the rest of your night, Wisconsin. Have a good one. Packers lose 22-16. It's been the Green Bay Football Postgame Show, powered by Lakeland University, live from Wisconsin Sports Radio Network Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Have a good night. Toodles.